Good evening once again, wherever you are in the world. We want to welcome you wholeheartedly to another presentation of the Issues Room. It's the 54th edition coming to you live from Monrovia, Liberia. We began with a little technical problem here in terms of getting our theme song through the console, but however, we were able to improvise. Again, we say welcome, welcome, welcome. It's midnight here, probably 2 minutes after midnight here in Monrovia, Liberia, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. Volcano Shelton here with you this evening, and we want to welcome all of you wholeheartedly. Let me bring in my colleague who is currently in the U.S. We trade sides. He's on that side, and I'm this way. But everything looks good from my end. Everything looks good from your end.
Yes, it
Most
does.
welcome to the 54th edition of the Issues Room. We will be discussing an array of issues here tonight. It's good to see you again. Welcome.
Definitely. It's also good to see you from the first state in the union, the state of Delaware. Uh, it's good to be back with another thought provoking production of the issues room. Volcano, you look upbeat. You must be having a great time, Monrovia.
Not quite, not quite. It's very busy for me, but
Okay.
Moses, our town is full of surprises when you get here.
I
You may
know.
have your plan, and then when you come, things hit you right in the face, and it's like, wow, I didn't know
Yeah.
it would be this tough. But
Yeah.
overall, we just got to grapple, and we got to be grateful. There's still great, 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 good people in this country who will always, think positive for the good of our country. And there are those who just don't care, just don't think that, uh, you know, the community matters is about them. And that's what we find on both sides of the spectrum. But it's good to be back here. It's tough to be up this late for me,
Yeah.
especially midnight, crossing into. But it's a sacrifice that the issues room must do to keep us
Yeah.
going. So it's
Mhm.
good to be back.
Great. It's good to hear that. Hmm.
All right. So Moses, this evening we not going to run. I know there are a lot of folks who think that we should begin to, push for some guests. Of course, we've been settling concerning me being here in
Definitely.
Liberia, you on the other side. So we'll put a spin, but we're still continuing with this new series, Underground's Issues, because when people say these things, there are a lot of other people who tend not to believe it. But the fact that I'm here in Liberia representing the issues room and can see firsthand from what's trending, this is not they say, this is not coming from someone's mouth. It's coming from what we're seeing here, in real time. And so, we want to continue this segment in as much as we're going to bring guests in the coming weeks. And, you know, I think it's important for us to do this. But just before we begin the conversation, I'd like to welcome Cleo Van, Idea Umo, Thomas Awaji. Thanks for inviting Rivers Pro and Walama Gizima and whoever else. We're gonna have a good conversation, so we want folks to come in. Let's start. Let's just give a caption of what we will be doing tonight. This evening, we'll look at the extraordinary resilience of majority of Liberians who continue to experience economic hardship, and yet they make ends meet on a daily basis to take care of the daily needs, feed their family, outside of everything that is happening around them. Of course, TIR will be looking at the uh, Bility's LP faction and the ANC and what is currently going on, the sour taste in the relationship. We'll be reviewing that. And, hopefully we'll also look at the CPP lack of being able to rejuvenate. So apparently, the Liberian people who were believing in a coalition, the hopes now seem to be dashed. So we'll be looking at those topics here tonight. But let's go to your end for the first trending issue because I got one from my end.
Yeah. From our end, the top story we are getting from Liberia is that Alexander Cummings, standing bearer of the Alternative National Congress, has been declared a flight risk, meaning that he will not be allowed to travel out of Liberia. In fact, it has been reported that Mr. Cummings had planned to come to the United States because his 93 years old mom is currently sick. He made a request. The request was initially granted, but the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, Serena Safer, sought legal intervention. As a result of the intervention, Mr. Cummings was denied the opportunity of leaving the country.
Wow.
That's the situation with Cummings. Yeah,
So is the thought that he's a flight risk, not going he's going to flee the country and not return? Is coming willing to sacrifice all of the good things he's done in Liberia, his wealth, his private money he's put into, real estate and all of that, and just forsake his entire ANC? Is that what you know, Mr.
that's what Serena Seaford thinks. And
Wow.
and and Volcano, that's the saddest thing about what is happening in our country. There are too many issues over there that Serena should really be running after, but this case seems to be a political one, and it is intended to humiliate Mr. Collins. He's not being
Mm.
treated like an ordinary criminal. Yeah,
Okay, but we're gonna follow it to see whether he will be granted because I think it's important considering his mom age and the possibility of how ill she could be. Uh, the window of opportunity is very very slim for him to be able to come to the U.S. or travel to the U.S. Uh, to just spend some time with his mother. And again, these are the kinds of things that people need to be careful about. I'm sure that the man has a lawyer who can stamp on for him to travel. And I personally don't think that Cummings is running away from this whole conundrum regarding this tamper with document and all of that. I don't think he's going to be running away from his investment here, running away from the ANC, running away from his supporter. But again, as I said, we'll look at it. The second trending news here, quickly, Moses, before we delve into our main conversation, is the retired Lieutenant General Henry S. Duba Sr., the former Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, one of the last pillars of the Samuel Doe government, died at the age of 79. General Duba, who had been ailing for quite some time after suffering a stroke in 2017, died on Friday, according to family members. Lieutenant General Duba is widely credited for helping recruit the late Samuel Doe into the Liberian army prior to the 1980 coup d'etat, when Doe led a band of low-ranked army officers to topple the administration of William R. Talbot on April 12, 1980. Duba was promoted in one leap from captain to lieutenant general and as chief of staff of the army. It's a great loss, irrespective of everything. General Duba was just another kind of soldier. Moses. So it's sad. He's a statesman. We'll put it that way.
mhm.
So hopefully, his respect by the military, particularly the armed forces of Liberia, and the Liberian government.
Absolutely. My heart goes out to his family, the people of Liberia, the AFL, for the lost suffer. We hope that his soul will rest in peace.
And we just celebrated Decoration Day, so we continue to reflect and uh, pass on peace to all of our fallen heroes, our family members, and our loved ones. Was this the other day I was out and about and I stumbled on the corridor between the ELW junction and the Peansville Red Light, uh, a road project that is currently being led by this government. under President Weah. And so I put that clip out, and there's a little bit of controversies, even though the issues room commended President Weah for the initiative. There are folks who have mixed uh,
Feelings.
yeah, feelings about what we said and commending President Weah and trying to correct that the initiative was not by him. It started from Ellen. And then someone further went on to say that it started from Totman. And I got confused. I'm like, Totman, stay around. So you're telling me this corridor from red light to ERW Junction was really initiated by Totman?
Gottman.
And we don't have a boulevard for almost 200 years of existence. And, we're going to be talking, this project started Totman time. So Totman ate the money, Toba ate the money,
Toba
Doe ate the
Elema
money, John
Samebe.
Miller ate the money, Elling ate the money. So if Weah is doing it, then I think we give him the credit.
Of
Moses?
course. Yeah, I agree. Government has continued it, and what you reported or what we report yet, we don't do it because we hate a particular administration. We just report the issues of the day objectively. And I want to say hats off to you for lifting that story. If the government is making progress as a professional entity, we should also say thank you, Mr. President, for a job well done.
And so I traveled through in an attempt to travel from GSA Road into ELWA. Before LBS, they're breaking and building and surfacing the road. Everywhere
Yeah.
is blocked now. So to get on the GSA Road side, you have to go by AB Torbo Road, come Dupo Road, go rehab, and then come that way, or go ELWA, SD Copo Road, or the Peloton Road, come out on Congo Town Back Road, and head on. Uh, of course, these little corridors, they kind of help, but there's a lot more. There's a lot of little shortcuts that need to be really surfaced. Our capital city and its surroundings is long overdue for these roads. And, while, we continue to frown on the slow pace of development in our country, because we see the contrast in what being done, in particular in positive ways, but we also see the contrast in negative ways where there's a lot of corruption going on and it's no secret. So we think that the Liberian people deserve more. And Moses, if you come to Liberia today, you will be frustrated. The traffic, the jam is unimaginable. And I said the other night when we talked that people drive like spaghettis intertwined. There's no rule of law in the traffic. There's no control. My brother, you just at the mercy of God when you drive in Liberia. Because you're dealing with pedestrians, you're dealing with motorbikes, you're dealing with tricycles, you're dealing with taxi, you're dealing with government officials who are reckless because they can put serene on, they don't care, they come head on to you. So it's just crazy. It's crazy. So these little roads, let's give credit because they will help to, give little twists and turns where you need
Decongest.
to. Yeah.
Decongest the city. Hmm.
And the last part to this whole thing that I mentioned, the drainage that these folks are putting on the road, because they're on the surface ground, it is easier to clean rather than the old-fashioned drainage that is on the ground and you can't get to it, right? So
Hmm.
in the middle of all of this, you wouldn't believe it. People are beginning to throw little debris in these drainages, even though the road is not open yet. And I know, yes, I know how much. And here's the other thing, I'll say this. For many of the people I have spoken with, the Zogos guys will come to your neighborhood and say they'll take your trash. Give me some money, I'll take my trash. I mean, take your trash. They'll put that stuff in the bag and just go and lay on the sidewalk and keep going. I'm
Yeah.
being honest with you. I'll be honest with you. This is
Yeah.
what they're doing. So sometimes it's coming from those boys who, just looking for a quick fix and a quick cash and to do stuff like that. Then
What I'm
also the bucket women.
what I'm hearing from you, it seems to suggest that the city government has proven to be unable in maintaining the sanitary situation in the country. And I think my suggestion would be that government begin to put up bids for companies, for individuals who have interest in providing, garbage collection services in the country. Because if you have quote unquote zogos roaming the street, taking few dollars and going trapping, throwing dirt in the street, that's not helpful.
Yeah,
So the
so the police
government
are
can do
watching
it.
for them now. The police are watching for them.
Okay.
Thomas Awaji is asking here from the video, he didn't see workers. No,
Yeah.
Thomas, there were workers. I was in a position where I had to be out of there,
Where?
way. Most of these construction stuff, you got to be careful. I didn't have a helmet on. Usually in developed countries, you can't just show up to a construction site not properly attired, with your steel boots or steel toe boots and your helmet and stuff like that. So I was being respectful of the work, and so I had to stay at a distance. But no, there were caterpillars moving about, trucks dumping more red dye for the surfacing of the road, and the construction workers were there working on the drainages, and so yes, there was a lot of folks working for the fact.
So,
Um,
Vukana, quick question. The marketeers, have they finally relocated from the red light area and other
Quite
places?
frankly,
Uh-huh.
I would say that's the next thing I want to do, and then go to the Ominga, Gorbachev market.
Okay.
That's something I was told that will blow my mind away. They just
Okay.
the dirt, the trash, the dirt that they've gathered. So yes, I would be trying to do that in the coming days. But no,
Okay.
I didn't go that way. I went to the red light, but I went by Soul Clinic.
Okay.
But again, people are still there. Moses, the congestion is unbelievable. You get to Soul Clinic, the people, they shut down the little driveway, because I don't call them roads, I call them driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And they close it up to the point that you get to the place and well, where's the road at? Until you see a motorbike sneaks through the little tight crowd and you start to blow your horn and make a loud noise. Then people start moving away with a wheelbarrow, the motorbike. I mean, my brother, the police just walk around doing nothing because apparently they themselves have given up. They've given
The,
up.
the police is powerless.
Yeah, yeah, they've given
Powerless.
up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is.
Yeah.
So in the midst of all of this, Moses, Liberians are still resilient. For the few people I've spoken with, they they tell you the country is hard. Just the other day, gasoline was $4.10 in 3 days. If you had seen the queue at the gas stations, it was unbelievable. It appeared that Liberia has ended, that there was no gas and there was no hope that there would be gasoline coming to this country for a long time. And all you could hear was the war in Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, the Russian war, and all of that. But you also will hear rather that it is a global issue. But I don't know that since these few days, Liberia has ordered new fuel in the country. From insiders, there were few in the country, but it was part of trying to align the price of gasoline with the global community. And so they went about creating this superficial shortage. And so that when they decided to put the new price on, the Liberian people would just cave in and accept it. And that is what's happening right now. You can get gasoline with ease compared to the few days that it seemed, you know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, unrealistic. So this is where we are. So people are really saying that they didn't kill us 1990. They didn't kill us in octopus. No matter what they do, we will survive. That's the theme now in Liberia. No matter what they do, we will survive. Moses, that's the resilience.
From what you say, it seems to suggest that our people right now are in survival mode. And
Many, many.
No one plans for the future. It's just about the now. The now. You find food, you eat today, tomorrow again, you go looking for food. No one's really planning for the future because, like we said the other day, a good percentage of our people, basically find themselves in a category of they don't have. That's where they are.
And just tonight, as I was pulling into the fence,
Hmm.
because I'm coming off the main street and trying to pull into the fence, the security guy is in the fence. I'm blowing the horn. Apparently, he had his earpiece in his ear. You security man, but you got earpiece in your ear.
Yeah.
So an older man was coming and he stopped and he signaled me like he wanted me to, you know. And so
Yeah,
he walked
helping.
to the fence and banged the fence till the security guy came. And then he flagged me down to bring the window down. So I brought the window down. He said, "Hey, my son, you all do. Now you're walking and going in town. Can you help me? The small thing."
It's sad.
He was walking. He was walking from
Yeah.
St. to, going
Yeah.
toward our
Hmm.
town.
Very sad
So this is
situation.
the kind of situation. People are so desperate. But
Yeah.
then some of the folks will say, coming 2023, they will see. They will see what we'll do to them. They will see. Some people. Then the
Yeah.
other group will say, well, what it will do? The man are two-term president. So it's just that argument. And I'm just sitting there and listening and watching the,
Yeah.
the folks about it. One
Yeah.
group thinking that he's a one-term president.
He's a
Another
one
group
point.
thinks that he's a two-term president. And
Yeah.
that's the back and forth. But in a majority of things, Moses, as I said, only two kinds of people in Liberia: the people who have income and the people who don't have income.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. The people who have income have a job, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
even if they're not being paid, they found a way to get paid.
Of course.
I'll give you an example. The banks, where people have money transfer.
Hmm.
You send your money, you pay the fee in America. If you send certain amount of money, like 1,000, 1,500, it is hard to get that amount. You have to bribe the tellers.
Oh,
The tellers
okay.
now found a way to get their income, even though they may not be paid until the end of the month,
Hmm.
but they've already found a way to get their income. So on many of occasions, I've sent money for a project in Liberia, and I get called that the people say they can't give the money because the money amount is too much. So we got to find something for them. I hate to
Wow.
support this kind of concept because then again,
Yeah.
I'm
You're
like
you're
corruption.
giving
I'm
in. Yeah. Hmm.
You understand me? But when
Yeah.
your back is against the wall, and just not for Kano, but many, many other people go through this, the teller will come and tell you, the person who goes to pick up the money, turn and say, oh, we got plenty of people here. This person got to get 200, this person here for 500. You want $2,000. When we give you $2,000, how much we give to that person? But the
Well,
question was, Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, whatever, took my money because they felt that all of those monies could be dispersed.
of course. And just to piggyback on what you said, it is not the customer's responsibility to wonder as to whether the rest of the people will be paid. You got nothing to do with that. Your transaction is legal. You send your money because you have something to do. So you shouldn't be worrying whether Moses Sandy get his share or not. That's Moses Sandy business. So what I'm reading into is that the people are exploiting the system. The customer themselves found themselves in a state of desperation. You go there, they tell you, "Oh, my brother, yeah, you're supposed to get $500, but to get the $500, you need to give me $10 or $20." Now you got projects
They
to
call the
run.
price. They call the price because the
Yeah,
question here is, I gotta go talk to the person in the back. So and they got a way of it just be, but then
yeah,
then when you ever give them the money, oh, don't let me lose my job, or just leave it on the counter. You know, they want to
yeah,
pretend not,
yeah,
yeah, like you giving them a tip, but it's not
yeah.
a tip. You've
It's not
already
a tip.
bargained with me
You're
to
bargaining.
get my
Yeah,
money.
it's sad. It's a very sad situation.
And this is a common practice across many of these places where you go to get the money.
Yeah,
It's just common practice.
it
And so I'm
is.
wondering, where is the management?
Of course, some of the top managers in those banks are aware of what is happening. Most of the guys are not doing it without support from the top managers. It's like the police officers in the traffic that are literally harassing drivers. They go and report to their commanders. Oh, chief, you have something here for Gaza. So then when these things are happening, the commanders look the other way. It's the same thing in the banks. They tell us report to their bosses. Oh, chief, you have something for Gaza. How can you be working in a bank and you're going home? Let's say hypothetically, you are giving your boss 20 or $30 every day. Where are you getting that money from? So these people are aware.
And what is interesting is some of these folks, John Susu. They
Yeah.
join Susu and
Mhm.
harass customers to
Yeah.
get that money to pay the Susu
Yeah.
and get collect their pay at the end of the month.
That's what they do.
So that's what I say the folks who have income and the folks who have no income. To have an income, you must have a job.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so once they put Liberians in places, they found a way to get income. But what happens to the person who doesn't have a job? And the community, the society, the government does not provide an enabling support to that person. Like
Yeah.
in the US, in developed countries, people get handouts, people get a low rations
Mhm.
and stipends and stuff to sustain in the lack of a vibrant economy that is providing job opportunities in
And
this
and
country.
and
It's
and and
contrast.
to just provide some information on that as a career social worker, in the Western world, like the United States, we have what they call safety net for the poor, the disadvantaged. There are there are housing programs here for those who can afford to live on their own, government providing housing. Those who can afford to have regular meal, government provide food for them. Those who have no income and they have reached certain age requirement, government provides some financial assistance for them. And and children and families with certain income level also get what? Monetary support. Now, in Liberia and other places in Africa, we don't have what they call safety net, or we don't have social services for our people because a greater percentage of our national budget is spent on recurring expenditures. If you are using more than 60% to pay salaries, like for example, in the case of Liberia, how are you going to fund safety net? How are you going to fund education? How are you going to fund the hospitals? Because you are only working to pay salaries. That's why we don't have these programs in Liberia. Our national planners, when they are planning, they don't look at the people. The fundamental responsibility of any responsible government is to provide for its people. But in our case in Liberia, in other places in Africa, our people don't look at the poor. They don't look at the people. They are concerned about themselves. Yeah, I just want to say that.
And that's whole, and that's this is all part of the resilience of the Liberian man.
Mhm.
And just by being here and able to see people, I have one or two young boys who probably should be in school, but they're on a hustle right now. They're on
Yeah,
a hustle for anything. And I asked the young man, and I said, "But why you not in school?" He said, "Well, who told you say I able to afford it?" I said, "But what do you mean? You have public school." He said, "That's not public school, no free education in Liberia." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Just the fees alone.
that's
All the
true.
fees they're asking for, I can't afford it. They're asking me for almost $11,000 in work. I mean, in fees. Eleven
Wow.
thousand is about maybe around 60,
Yeah.
65 dollars.
Where would that
But he
man
can't
get that money
afford
from? He can't.
it. Yeah, parents can't afford it. So they're looking, project sites, construction site, just to find something and have something to do.
Mhm,
But you say you provide a free education, and then all of these price tags
mhm.
attached.
You can fund
Another
that.
student sent me uh, his calendar of courses, 103,000 Liberian dollars.
Yeah.
103,000 Liberian dollars.
Hmm.
I haven't done the math, but right now
Uh,
the rate
it
in Libya is
is.
155
Mhm.
dollars to a dollar.
Okay.
155 according to the central bank when they put out all of these new gas price and stuff. But people
Mhm.
are still changing for 150 on the general. So 150
Okay. So let me turn my
yeah, divide
and let me just go into my
150
calculator. Yeah,
yeah,
quickly. Let me.
$150 divided by
Okay.
103.
I'm coming. My system is very slow. Let me see if we can do some math here. This phone. Okay. Come on, man.
So
Yeah, I'm coming.
100, 103,000
It's 103,000, right?
yeah,
One
divided by
o three.
150.
Yeah, 103,000 divided by $150, hypothetically. So it comes to what? $686.
That's 686 US dollars. So
Yes.
tell me, is that free education?
No, but how many
Because
how many families
even
can afford
during our
that? How
time,
many?
yeah, but I'm coming now. Even during our time at the university, we didn't pay that kind of money,
No, we
right?
didn't pay that. We didn't pay that. We didn't pay that.
So
It was
let's just
very
say
cheap.
we assume the cost of living, the cost of time have changed. Yet 600 and whatever in fees and services, do you really call that free education?
No, I think that's hypocritical. Because Volcano, like you said, you and I went to the University of Liberia when we were paying fees. I can't remember even paying more than 25 US dollars per semester. So Mr. Wiakam, he introduces free education, quote unquote free education, and somebody is paying hypothetically $700. And this is
Yeah.
a man who
And this
comes
is a,
from Soniwe.
this is a semester though.
Yeah, a semester. The man comes from Soniwe.
Semester.
He comes from Soniwe. His mom, his entire family can afford 50 US dollars in a month. Where is he going to get this money from? Isn't that
Yeah.
isn't that a double standard?
And no one can challenge me because I have it right here. And this is on the university. You know how you get your course online and everything, and the money is there. It's right here.
Yeah,
So that's the
it's a
resilience of the Liberian people. So
yeah.
many things that they don't get electricity. When there's electricity here, it's like Christmas. Everybody yelling, "Whoa!" I mean, you hear the noise just because current come. Because
Yeah.
sometimes current rather goes for about 2, 3 months. And the resilience of the people, to live in the dark
Hmm.
for months,
Oh yeah.
and they didn't pressure in the government, they didn't blocking roads. Many other society you can't do that.
The people have
It's
given up.
these are necessities.
Mhm. The people have
These
given
are
up volcano.
necessities, especially a populous government. A populous government.
Yeah.
Moses,
Mhm.
this government is a popular government.
Yeah.
And to just sit there and the major amenities are not provided consistently. That's the resilience of the Liberian people.
Yeah.
It's
It's
hard in this country, Moses. It's
it is.
hard.
I mean, you are
You can
speaking
see the
from
struggle
first-hand
in people's
experience.
faces. You can see the struggle in people's faces. I see kind of boys like myself. I gotta look at my boys when I meet them in the street and try to figure out what a minute. Oh yeah, man. And then we hug. And when I look at my man, I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
excuse my expression, damn,
Yeah.
this is serious stuff here.
I'm a tough time, man, volcano. Tough time.
But not only that, the little jobs now that come to this country,
Yeah.
there's a high competition, Moses. You have the boys from Guinea, they call them the Guinea fella boys. If you want your job done and fast and quick, they're like the Mexicans. in the
Oh, really?
US.
So,
They don't
and these are guys who are in construction. Are they in construction?
Yeah, yeah, they come from Guinea to lay tile, to do roofing, to do construction work,
Wow.
and so the Liberian contractors and
Hmm.
construction workers are in competition with them, and then the high end guys are the ones from Ghana, the ones from Senegal, and some of your ministers there bring those people in the country, and don't look at the Liberian workers. They look at those people.
Is
You
there any
understand me?
reason why they don't look at the Liberian workers?
Because I guess they're looking for quality. They're
Oh,
looking for
okay. Okay.
They're looking for quality. They're looking for, you know, uh, the best stuff. But imagine you're paying a guy from outside of the country. But in other societies like Ghana, they're not
Yeah.
going to take a Liberian construction worker over a Ghanaian.
No.
But it's always the contrast, is always the opposite. You understand me?
Hmm.
Now, Hassan Kia will say the Guinea Pella guys are great. They will do your work well. So that's the competition now that's going on, that's trending. Not only that, you have a major a competition between Liberian businesses and businesses in the West African sub-region. The Nigerians have taken over Claratown. They're
Oh, really?
selling every scrap you can think about in the world. I'm serious.
They run most of the top businesses in
Oh, yeah,
Clarendon.
I'm talking in terms of auto parts and stuff. A whole section of Claratown. You know, I needed a fan belt yesterday. Bought it
Hmm.
from a Nigerian guy. $25 for a fan belt.
Wow.
$25 for a fan belt.
And
The
even
fan
with
belt
that,
snap. I needed it.
it's not quality. Oh.
So we are in serious competition as Liberians. We have not loved ourselves. Our government have not taken up for its citizens. Our government just let everyone run and everyone fend for themselves. And the resilience of these people, your true Liberians, your true, and I mean, this is, I don't have any regret and any shame having this kind of conversation. We are not Liberianized. We've not put ourselves first above all else. Imagine the Indians bringing store ball in the country. I mean, I'm all over the place. I
Oh,
see
really?
it. Yes, the Indians, the Lebanese, they bring the store balls.
But me, a store boy, these are
But then they
jobs that
got a
you should
few.
not have.
Let me just take this point quick, and you come in. They got a few Liberian guys who will
Yeah.
go in the back and lift up the tires and bring it out. Who will go in the back and bring the commode on the head. And these store balls are the one taking the low,
Yeah.
numbers down. How much you want? How much you want? How much you want? So a Liberian man couldn't do that. That
So,
you need a store. So the
so
Liberian man only there to lift up the item and bring it outside. That is
so,
on a job. He should be the deliverer in his own country. And then you bring somebody just the right little what you
yeah.
consider taking the
Take note.
yeah
Mhm.
what's it called it, man?
Who runs
God.
the cash register and stuff like
No, he's
that?
not
Yeah.
running cash register. He's just taking what your
He
purchase should
takes
be.
stock of what the
Yeah,
purchases are, right?
yeah.
Okay. So,
So it's a serious competition.
mhm, go ahead.
Liberians are left in limbo in their own country, man. I'm telling you, this is a shame. This is unfortunate. And these are the people that you expect to go back and stand in line in rain and in heat to vote for you. And you get in the House, you become president, you become minister of labor, and you treat your people in your own country like this only because of bribe. Moses, I mean, let me be practical here. I'm not saying this because I want to say it. I'm saying it because it's the reality of the time.
It is. I agree.
Look
It
all
is.
over this place. And these are the same people who brag to you that you can't carry me anywhere. Your ministers are in my pocket.
Oh wow.
Come here for the thing.
Oh wow. And they say that with dignity too.
I'm
Wow.
being honest with you. And then you say, but then you also have some of these folks justifying, oh, Liberian men know nothing, they're lazy, they're this, they're that. Granted, granted. But what mechanisms have you put in place as a government to improve your own people? You take
Uh,
stranger over your people. And for the infinitesimal things, the little things that they're capable of doing. Come on now. A Liberian man can be a housekeeper, a
of
housekeeping
course,
manager.
can be, yeah. But you know, Volcano, like you said, in most countries, there are specific jobs that are just not, that the individuals traveling from abroad are not allowed to do. The housekeeping jobs, being store managers. Those are positions that you do not need to bring in an expatriate to do. Those are positions that should be offered to the local citizens because they are there. And the saddest thing about it, Mr. Shelton, you are reporting this just a few years after Mr. Weir declared that the Liberians will not be spectators in their own economy. And what you are reporting now seems to suggest that instead of being spectators, they are in fact the least considered in their own country. What do you think?
Well, absolutely, Moses. And I mean, you imagine, Moses, have we not had the opportunity to work in the media, to advance ourselves, and end up traveling overseas to
Mhm.
become educated and span off in different directions of our lives? We'll
Yeah.
be here seeing, crying. How many times did we get paid while we were LBS?
Oh man,
Yet
forget it,
we
man.
didn't go to work.
Forget
Yet
it.
they didn't go to Ghana to bring broadcaster. They didn't go to Nigeria to bring broadcaster. They didn't go to India to bring broadcaster. They depended on us to do the job. It
Hmm.
was the resilience that kept us there.
Oh yeah, and the
It
love
is the
of
same
the love of
resilience
what
that
we
keeps
did.
us
Yeah.
grow in
Mhm.
this country. This is the same resilience. I mean, you look in the faces of Liberians, it's sad. It's sad. Many, 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 many hundreds of Liberians don't have jobs. That's what I say. You have two kinds of people here. There's no middle class, upper class. It's just the people who have job with income and the people who have nothing. And nobody gives a crap to bring some of those people up to par.
And it,
But yet
and
they're gonna be depending on their votes come soon.
what the government or what our public officials don't understand is that when you have such a high level of unemployment in the country, that contributes to what? An increase in crime rate. You know that, right?
But man, you know what's going on now? As I
No.
speak to you,
Hmm.
those boys now are two or three and they're walking with knives. They meet you,
Yeah.
they stab you first and say,
Yeah.
"Give me your phone." As soon as you see your blood, you panic. They go merely after women.
Oh man.
It's getting bad every day.
Is that the level at which Labrador has gotten?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Liberians degenerated to the point where crime is the order of the day, and it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse if this and it's just not George Weah's government, but
Hmm.
if no government focuses on creating youth empowerment program to change the dynamics of these young people whose lives are in peril, who should be advancing to be people in society, then of course we have a long haul, even after George Weah, Moses, you
Hmm.
know, and it's scary. But what bothers me is that again, as I said, come 2023, the Indian store board is not going to stand in the line to
No.
vote for a candidate.
Mhm.
Nigerian man said he going to stuff like Nwabudiki. You remember Nwabudiki from
Yeah, from the GSE.
he's taking stuff to stand in the line. But you're looking at these very resilient Liberians, these folks who have, gone through these last several years of hardship, no job, destitute, can barely find something to eat, right?
Yeah.
These are the people now you're going to come 2023 to campaign to.
Oh yeah.
And then when you get there, you forget about them.
And like you said, what they're going to do come 2023, they're going to go into the communities and throw a few dollars out there, literally buy votes. Once they are re-elected, then they look the other way again.
Yeah, so Moses, that's what I wanted to put forth as part of our conversation tonight. You know, the resilience of the Liberian people, irrespective of the hardship they're going through, they're still able to make ends meet. There's still homes that can find a meal a day, that there are homes that still hold the kids in check, who are disciplined. It may be far in between, but honestly, there's still good homes in this country. There's still
Okay.
good parents. There's still good families that are holding together, even amidst the struggle, the hard times, and they're managing life. Um, but again, is that bad? And we need to continue to talk about it so that something can be done. We cannot continue. So it's not just being business spectators in in your own economy. You're
Yeah.
also becoming employee spectator
Oh
because there's
yeah.
no job for you now.
No
You're
job
giving
for
all
you.
to foreigners.
The
There's
Indians
no
are coming, the
place.
Lebanese are bringing their own people
Yeah.
and giving them all the store-bought jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So let's go to your segment there from your end on the issue with Mr. Bility LP, his
Just-
fashionable LP, Liberty Party. Let's say it right, and
yeah.
that hit and the memorandum of understanding that he signed with Alexander Cummings. Now,
Comments.
I was quite surprised, Moses, when I saw 2020. So these
Hmm.
guys been kind of under the table since
Oh
2020.
yeah, the people been operating behind the scene. They endorsed the man candidacy, for the standard bearership of the collaboration, the now the what promote collaborating political parties, the CPP. So they've been working behind the scene to get this thing here done. They craft a memorandum of understanding that hey, the ANC and the abilities faction
Let me
of
just
the
quickly tell.
CPP.
Let me just quickly tell
Sure.
the
Uh-huh.
viewers and callers will be posting the number at 8 o'clock. So we got about another 11 minutes. We'll post the number. You will have to call via WhatsApp because the
I
number
love,
is not linked to the US. So we'll post the number.
I love
Continue, Mo.
Makeda. Quickly,
Yeah.
now to cut your look at what Hassan wrote. He said, "People walk in the streets talking to themselves. Too much
Schizophrenia.
stress and some form of mental problems. Absolutely, it's sad,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
sad situation.
Continue what you were.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, the ANC and the Liberty faction party headed by Mr. Musa Ability, they they met and they crafted a document referring to as a memorandum of understanding that Mr. Bility and his group will support Mr. Cummins' desire of becoming standard bearer of the CPP. And in that document, it is also alleged that the ANC agreed that, hey, if Mr. Cummins were to become a standard bearer of the CPP, the vice standard bearer would have come from Bility's faction of the LP. And it is being speculated that the individual who uh, is eyeing that position or who was eyeing that position is the controversial Musa Bility himself.
Mm.
And can you imagine Musa Bility was such a staying character in Liberia? The guy is known at home and abroad for dishonesty. And this is a man who wants to become president, I mean, vice president of Liberia. It's also been reported that some key ministries, including the Ministry of Finance, the National Port Authority, and other top institutions of government, Ability Faction, with the arrangement with the Commons camp, where are some of these institutions? When I heard that, I just thought about what we experienced when Liberia, went to war. You remember
Mhm.
all those transitional arrangements, the allocation of positions among the various warring factions. That's what just I mean, that is why, the story reminded me of. So right now, Mr. Bility and his people are saying that, hey, Mr. Cummins, you guys are not coming forth. If you cannot consummate this arrangement, then we will decide where to move forward. So basically, they are saying that the relationship is about to crumble because the ANC has failed to live up to the expectation of the arrangement. Can you imagine this?
So to be honest here, I remember a few productions back, you talked about
Hmm.
Liberia's major problem is greed. Everyone wants it. What's in this presidency that everyone wants it? Omen Boyka, he wants it so badly that even in the UP, I'm the oldest, I'm the most experienced. Nobody else comes close to this stuff. If you try it, it doesn't go well. In the ANC, I put the money there, so I'm the best choice, and I must go, no matter what.
Hmm.
Dr. Daniel Cassell said, listen, I'm coming with a TLP. I put the money in, I must go. Till one Gonglo on the other side say, hey, I'm the alternative. I'm gonna find the cash. I'm gonna put it in, I'm gonna go. And there will be many, many, many other people.
Yeah.
So what's in this presidency that everyone fights for it? And the surprising thing is, after all this fight, they get the stuff, they don't even know what to do with it.
They didn't look. They look the other way. They
They don't
fame.
know what it, as smart and brilliant as Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is, she didn't know what to do with the presidency to the point that Ellen caved into corruption.
Oh yeah, she admitted.
Yeah, she
She
caved into
admitted.
corruption.
Hmm.
She
She
said it was going
admitted.
to be a public enemy number
Number
one.
one.
And she got there and miserably failed
She failed.
to make a change and to fight corruption. So why these people continue to be so greedy for this presidency, and then when they get there, they can barely handle themselves. George Weah said there will be no corruption. Liberians won't be spectator in their own economy. Won't be Liberianization stuff. But I tell you, and you can challenge me, you can do whatever you want to do. It is that bad for Liberians at this time in their own country. And I'm speaking from facts. You can walk all over, do a survey, do a survey. Everyone wants to be president. To get there, they can barely handle themselves.
The fame. Most of these people they want to be president because of the fame that comes along with the presidency. Like you were talking about George Weah. In recent history, this is a man who claimed that his government was going to be committed to fighting graft. If he were to do a critical analysis, a comparative analysis of past leaders of Liberia, the George Weah that we know today, he has gone down in history as one of Liberia's most corrupt presidents. When he took over the presidency of Liberia, he is the first Liberian leader in recent history to have built a number of costly homes. Ellen Johnson didn't do that. Samuel Doe didn't do that. Mr. Taylor didn't do that. Go on the Robert Fee Highway. Look at the homes. Look at his 9th Street residence, which has now turned to a mini mansion. Where did he get the money from? Where? George Weah administration is one of the most corrupt, very corrupt. I mean, it's just the truth of the matter, of Volcano. Everybody knows this. The stories are out there. This is not Moses Sandy's creation. It's not Volcano Shelton's creation. We are just following the contemporary news as they unfold. Everybody knows that Mr. Weir runs one of the most corrupt uh, political entities. That's why a lawmaker from New Jersey referred to his administration as what? A kleptocracy, a government of thieves. Can you imagine that? Even the United States government has expressed concern about the level of malfeasance in we as Liberia. Look at the Elections Commission, an integrity institution. See how corrupt the Elections Commission is. And this is an entity that's supposed to be conducting election come 2023. So when this institution has credibility problem, are we not saying the sound that hey, come 2023, they're going to be a chaos in Liberia? The Elections Commission is not credible. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, the the whole thing here with Cummings and Bility,
Mhm.
you know, it's just when then you got the other side of the LP.
Yeah.
So I mean, right now the whole political uh, uh, conglomeration of all of these parties, we really don't know where they stand now.
I know. Mhm.
Everything is in a disarray. There seemed to be no rejuvenation of the CPP.
No.
Uh, so as a result, Liberians are now confused. And when people are confused, have you gone to an exam, Moses? You got confused with a question you just did, any, mini, money, more?
Yeah,
I
in
mean,
fact,
people
look,
gonna most people gonna go in the electoral booth and do the any, mini, money, more
well,
because
you, Vicana, you asked a very important question. When I was in grade school in Liberia, we called it junior high, and we had one tough math teacher. I attended Boston. Every Friday, that guy would give a math quiz. I can remember then as a young man. Uh, the guy was giving the test for Canada, and I was so stressed. I was so stressed. The least thing you can think about volcano, it happened to me while in the classroom. I don't want to tell you what happened, but I will never forget that experience. Because the math, the guy, we had three questions. But maybe before I could answer the first question, my man, the man was calling for papers.
they give you money more. Because listen, Moses, to be honest with you, you go in a electoral booth, right? You have
Yeah,
your mind fixed and you go
yeah,
for your ticket. But when you have all this confusion,
yeah,
everybody wants to be president, you'll
yeah,
get there and start thinking to yourself. You'll be asking yourself, what's going on here? And you're supposed to be in the booth for just a number of
yeah,
minutes or so, right?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
you get in there, you get to your any minimum
You
anymore.
said, but
Whoever
anything that,
gets it, that's it.
yeah.
So we're gonna
Because you
have an
don't
any
even know who
minimum
to
anymore
vote for again.
presidency. All these people, my man, everybody wants this one office.
They were
So
obvious of
they
it.
still any minimum anymore. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
yeah.
and imagine the people who can read. And I don't think anybody would be in a booth like Echo Town to pull your finger and put it on the
You said no,
let them
Omar, right here.
we want no more war.
Omar didn't say man. No.
They had people, they had people voting for Tiller because they want no more war. Echo must have a tire. So they were just putting their hair,
Yeah,
put
they
it
said
all
right on the man.
yeah. This time around it's not gonna happen.
No,
So when
it's
you
not.
get there so bloody confused,
Yeah,
you're just gonna go with your any mini money more. Whoever
yeah.
you think that's it.
It's a sad situation. The CPP, like you were saying, that Liberians were looking forward to. The CPP has become a disappointment. They
Absolute
hope,
disappointment. Just before you
yeah.
continue your thought, the
Mhm.
number is open. The line is now open. It's 8 o'clock in the US and it's 1 o'clock here in Liberia, where I'm broadcasting from. And
Yeah,
Moses is in studios in
yeah.
Newcastle.
Mhm.
We are now officially opened. You can call, but please do it through WhatsApp because, again, as I said, we don't have any luxury of the issues room does not have that money to go international. on a regular line. So please call through WhatsApp 404-272-2808. Let me quickly recognize some folks in the house here. Inja Pa, Willie Cowboy, thanks for joining us. P. Edward, um, Hassan Kiawu, CZ Morris, Cole Gloria Voga Moba, Seba Kruate, Thomas Awaji, of course. Good to have you again, my brother. And we still have some folks here. I'm trying to pick up on some names. John Yamin Jr., all the way from the US. Thanks for joining us tonight. Kamna Yebwa, uh, Nadia Veselov. We say welcome, welcome, welcome. Alfred Cowboy, welcome. And Adihai Omo and Cleo Van. Good evening to all you wonderful people. Welcome to the Issues Room. This is our 54th edition. We're looking at the resilience of the Liberian people. They're still making ends meet, irrespective of the hard times they're faced with. We're also talking about the CPP. Is collapse. It looks final because there's no hope and no rejuvenation,
Right.
and also the ANC and this relationship with the Musa abilities fashion of the Liberty Party.
Yeah.
The lines are open. Call in so you can make your contribution. We're here. Don't hesitate. Thank you, Moses.
Yeah, and you talk about Musa ability. So, if Mr. Bility becomes vice president of Liberia, what does he intend to do for Liberia? What does he intend to do for Liberia, given his track record in the public?
Let me take this caller.
Sure.
Oh wow, Mr.
Mhm,
Caller.
mhm.
Take caller quick. Good evening, caller. We're having a little technical difficulty, so I'm going to feed you through our microphone. Can you hear us? Good evening. All right. Go ahead. Your name and where you calling from. Yeah, I'm having a little. I'm having a little problem feeding you through the board, so we'll go the old-fashioned way. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
We're getting. Yeah, we're getting some feedback. Are you playing music in the back? Thank you. Okay. Mhm. Mm. So what happens come April 15, right? Moses is the
Yeah,
deadline.
April 15th is the deadline.
So
Yeah.
there's still chance. We're still a month away for this MOU to make sense.
Yeah.
This is the thing too now. Other guys that have been fighting with women, they are all vultures in there. Right now, his hair on his shoulder is kind of spinning. That's what's happening to women right now. Should I stay with my guys who been fighting with me, or should I agree with the MOU that this guy signed? And the chance of even winning when I agree to the MOU. So Kumin's hair is spinning right now. It's a
Okay.
difficult decision also for Kumin because if he going to win with flexibility or ability, then get this stigma that he cannot even work with anybody. This is a for all of them.
But
So
but
for me,
but
I just want to
but
say that
quickly before you go, with me being on the grounds, there is a different view that Bility has his following. Bility is solid in Nima County. Bility is solid in the Mandingo, community. Bility is even solid here in Montserrat County. So, you know,
Bility is not solid in my county. No one should carry that or should read. Bility is not solid in my county. Bility is not even solid even in the same place with faction or Liberty Party. All that really surround themselves right now with that in the zone of Bility are those people who they're looking for handout. They're not eating for the issue of policy. No.
okay.
They
Thank
make
you.
decision. They're
Thank
looking
you.
for handout. That's the reason why I know. I just want to say this quickly to my Nigerian people, those that are listening.
Let's quickly make that point. I got another caller.
Quickly. It's like a funky pan meat, Liberians. We're in 2023. We need to really think about this. Either elect again, talking to ourselves in the street, or blindly select somebody with a mini money go, and then we got a different issue again upon our head. And I pray that it will not even be the toxic ability. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Yeah, Moses, there was a caller trying to come through.
Yeah.
The caller calls back. In great
Okay.
conversation here. We'd like to
Good.
hear from everyone on, this stuff.
Yeah.
But quite interestingly, the any, many, money, more, I'm telling you, that stuff will come to pass.
Of course.
You know,
Of
because people
course.
are confused.
The
People
people
are
are
confused.
confused. The CPP, the CPP that the people were looking up to has let them down. You
Yeah, there
know
was a
what
caller
happened?
trying to call. There was a
Yeah.
caller trying to call from a 215-715 number. So caller, if you're there, you can call back. Go ahead, Moses.
Yeah, so as I was saying, the CPP that the people were looking forward to, the CPP has become a disappointment. When the CPP was crafted, the primary objective of the CPP then was to make Mr. Weah a one term president. And they demonstrated that with the midterm election. They outperformed the CDC. Even the CDC became what? Panic.
Panic to
Today,
the point that said, wait a minute, we got to start stabbing in these places, man. We got to start shooting spear. We got to cripple most of these
yeah,
conglomerates. We got to find a way to
to
destabilize them.
destabilize. And
And
then
that
Musa Belete say, I can do the job.
yeah, they're making headways with regards to this. We
Yeah.
snatched Brian Samukai. In fact, the Elections Commission just put up, I think they won $1 million.
Oh,
Uh,
really? Yeah,
yeah, to
for
yeah
the
for
by
that
election in Lofa?
for Lofa County. Let me take Reverend Zizek Bade. Reverend Zizek Bade is calling. I believe he's back in the U.S. He was just here in Liberia. Zizek, are you there? Can you hear me?
Buchanan and Moses. Grace and
Yeah.
peace to you, brothers. How are you today?
We are great,
Good,
man. We're
Dr.
great. The issues room is
Good,
live in
Dr. Pade.
Monrovia. So
Yeah, Well, I mean, I'm just listening to you painfully. I was there after nearly 20 years, and just by way of full disclosure, in fact, today marks 20 years of my presence in this country. I entered here on March 11, 2002.
Congratulations, Dr. Pade.
Small observation. How do we make progress? I don't know what's your experience at the airport, Bukana.
We cover
I
that.
don't know what it looks like for you when you go in and you come out.
We cover that in
But
two productions. Zizi. We've already
yeah,
crossed that.
I just wanted to bring attention to the COVID, my experience with the COVID testing and everything that is going on. I think there is considerable level of corruption going on. Leaving from here, the website tells you you can pay your money towards this. The LRA collects it. I had to pay almost 3 times.
Wow.
Coming from here, I made the first payment at Detroit International for COVID testing. I get to the airport and they said it can recognize the payment. While the money was already taken from my bank, I had to pay at the airport.
Oh,
And then they said, "Oh, you need to go to Clarence's house." Then the guys there will take care of it. I went there. The guys just kept floating, pushing me from one point to another. Eventually, to cut long story short, I had to pay 3 times. And I think it's affecting many Liberians who are going in and out, and even just people who are probably tourists and ordinary folks. The image it presents to those who are coming from outside. The government needs to take that into serious consideration. There is considerable level of corruption that is taking place in terms of who pays the money towards COVID, how much is collected, how many times do they pay. You can have on the website, the health ministry website, indicating this is where you pay by way of the American Embassy. You go there, you make the payment, and they send you a citation, like a notification indicating you made a payment with 222 and plus other numbers. It's the same number they are using in Monrovia. When you get there, the guys tell you, "Oh no, they're not going to give any consideration to the payment you made." While the money has already been taken from your account here in the USA, indicated the Liberia Revenue Authority. I think the government needs to pay keen attention to that because there's considerable level of fraud that is taking place. Actually, collecting considerable amount of money from people who are just practically probably visiting for the first time, like I did, that just went to see family and friends and I would have that, but for a mission purpose.
All right.
And
Zizi, we have another
in terms
caller trying to come
on
through.
the overall, in terms of what the struggle is, listening to you, Buchanan, I will listen to you guys from off the show, but I think that is an area that needs to be paid. The government needs to pay serious consideration and attention to what is happening with the COVID testing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dr.
Zizi.
Pade. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You know, quite frankly, all of these things, and Zizi having been here since 2002
Yeah.
himself, you know, experiences on issue. So again, let's hope that the caller from a 215-715 number will call back. That caller attempted to call again. Because of where we are right now, I'm not able to do the three-way. River says, Pro, you also try to call, you can call. Whoever calls in first, I'll take them. You know, Moses. So yeah, the problem is difficult if these people don't put the acts together really, if they
Yeah.
want to unseat uh
Mr.
money.
Weir.
Yeah, they need to put the acts together because money. I don't think money wants to run again. But his boys around him say, "My man, we not taste it here. We still gotta eat the grill." You know, the first part that was Bable, the one that
Yeah.
coming out,
That's real
yeah,
good, man.
yeah, you
You
know,
got that woman
six
there, you walk here, Will.
next 6 years will be chicken time, my man, with steak, in our gravy. So with salt pork, the first and imagine the first term about there, and
Yeah,
the man already rich. Then you
yeah.
get a second term with
Forget it.
chicken thigh, with steak, with crawfish, with shrimp. Eh? 6 more years?
My man.
To be honest with you, I don't think Mane wants to run again. I don't
What
think
what
so.
what make you think so,
I
Volcano? My
mean,
man, a
listen,
power.
if the
That,
story around telling us that Nathaniel against the de facto prime minister and president of Liberia, then of course, Mane don't really want to run again. He's tired with this
okay.
stuff. My
Yeah.
brother, the presidency drains you.
Of
If Mane
course.
was really working like a real, you know, president who really working, have his
Yeah.
country at heart, and he's reading these bills and he's looking at all of these concession deals to see what's in it for the people. If this guy really meant it, my brother, Mane would be exceptionally fatigued. He
I
won't even
agree.
be able to, Moses, the man won't be able to make music. He won't be able to play volleyball. He won't be able to play basketball. He won't, so
No.
many things. But the guy just said the Liberian people didn't care, so myself won't care.
Yeah, I'll just do my
You
own
know,
thing. I agree. The presidency comes with enormous challenges, too much work to be done.
yeah,
And in the case of George Weah, he spent his time for leisure.
yeah.
He's
So
completely disengaged.
let's call her quick, Moses.
Yeah.
Call her.
Now, good to get you. How you doing,
Man, Real
Moses?
says,
How
bro,
you
when
doing,
you
Piano?
come, when you come
Good,
to class
Rose.
and we give directives, say call by WhatsApp, then you're on your own.
Sorry, sorry. Yeah, I always come in late. When you're pushing company, you buy your own speaker time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, thank you for the show. But I really got one question to ask you. Bob Marley say, got his song. I don't want to wait in vain for your love.
yeah,
This comments thing, this CPP, yeah, with all these hulabalu that going on around comments, start with a lawsuit. The Azefa Tupa book that he had to defend and eventually fire him, and the Musa Bility resignation, and everything seems to be all odds are being seems to be stacked against communists. In your honest opinion, both of you, do you really should the supporter wait? Are they waiting in vain for 2023? Is there? Do you really think Comey has a chance of resurrecting his political career come 2023, or he should wait until? I mean, yeah, man. I really want to know is does he have a chance in 2023? You think he's gonna pick up these pieces, the broken pieces from all over the place and galvanize his base and get ready before 2023, or you don't see that happening? I just want you to give your honest opinion. I know we all like the guy, but seriously.
no, let me first make that correction. We all like the guy. You who are the partisans or the would-be partisans. First of all, Volcano Shelton has no political affiliation to any political party in Liberia. Neither do I support any candidate, whether in secret or in open. I don't have any political stake in Liberia, so I cannot predict. And I will be honest with you, from the issues room perspective, I wouldn't be able to say at this point whether Cummings is the man or whether he will be able to resurrect whatever the circumstance. That would be left out to those folks who are contemplating, leaning his direction and being analytical to the best of their understanding of where he is now and where he's expected to go. But quite frankly, I have no political understanding, no political commitment, no political ties, and I speak for myself in my capacity as a member of the issues room. So I'll let Moses come in.
Yeah. Volcano, you said it
We'll say
very
I'm still.
well. Do you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so as I was saying, or as Volcano said, in the issues room, we have no political leaning. I have no political association. I have no favorite candidate. But what I can tell you is that out of the candidates, including Mr. Cummings, they have significant challenges. with the current situation now with Musa Bility, this lawsuit, which is gradually seeking to minimize Alexander Cummings in the political struggle for the presidency of Liberia. I think he has to do a lot of work. He has to do a lot of work. That's why I can tell you. The
Thank you.
odds are just too many against him. Yeah.
So I think that helps you,
Mhm.
Reverses Pro. We have another caller. Fred Guanyin is trying to call in from the US, but we
Okay.
can continue to analyze the situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Freddie, if you're there, trying to make effort to call, go ahead and call. Right now technology is not as robust and better off. We're just trying to make ends meet and give people the opportunity to chime in. So Fred Guyan, you can go ahead and call right now. We'll pick you up. Call through WhatsApp 404-272-2808. Yeah, Moses. So yeah, again, yeah, Rivers Pro doesn't want to wait in vain.
No, yeah.
It's
He
beginning to see if his eggs are being put in in the wrong basket.
Yeah, there are just too many challenges for all the candidates, including Mr. Cummings. He finds himself in a real difficult situation right now with this legal battle. And, I mean, for this man to be reduced to the level of flight risk that he cannot leave Liberia because of this CPP lawsuit filed by the ALP, the All Liberian People Party, the case which is being prosecuted by the government. Fukeno, look
Yeah.
around Liberia. Look around Liberia and see all those cases that Mr. Seaford should rather be dedicating his time and resources. So, you
But
know.
sometimes Moses, when you think about it, what goes around comes around, and
Hmm.
nothing lasts forever. I've always said this, and it's just my philosophy of life
Hmm.
that I said it prior, and I'll say again that all of these guys who think now this is their time and they can do things and think they'll get away with it, they're making a mistake because everyone has a day.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has a day. And even if President Weah wins a second term, he's still going to not be president for a third term.
No,
Okay? The way our democracy is constructed,
it's
except he
right.
changes the
it,
constitution.
it's two term. He cannot go
Yeah,
more than
I'm
that.
just saying, except he intends to change the constitution. People are desperate. Again, and I would say to you honestly, I don't think President Weah really wants to be president for a second term. The guy is tired
Okay.
already. The boy wants
Yeah.
to just gracefully enjoy his life. But now the
Yeah.
boys who are around him and beginning to eat chicken tart, they say, no way, you're not leaving this thing.
So you see the de facto president, Miguel, is telling his humanity we got to take it to the end. Eh?
Oh yeah, man, we gotta eat. So right now
Yeah.
it will not be easy. But let's see. And
Yeah.
the beauty of a man who has the political inclination and
Yeah.
utmost desire to want to run,
Hmm.
always put that blame on the people. The people petition me.
Yeah, that what they do.
Yeah,
They always petition.
always, always. They don't come and say,
Yeah.
I want to be president or I want
Yeah,
to be
the
second.
same people
Always
petition
the
me.
people
Yeah.
petition,
And
all
and they
the
will
time.
spend the money, or they will spend the money. They will mobilize the people behind the scene and say the people petition me, right, for Canada?
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's what they do. The politicians are very
So
smart.
I guess Moses, we can wrap up because I don't think we're gonna get another caller.
Okay.
But quite frankly, I thought that tonight's three or more topics were
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
The other one thing that I really want us to look at, probably in the next production, Moses, and just a hint, I
Yeah.
tell you, Moses, there are more drinking spots in Liberia than any other institution in this country.
Hmm.
Moses, every corner you turn, every street, every alley, one shop here open, they got plastic chairs, cars parking on the side, they're playing the loud music, people drinking. The next, you walk 10, 15 steps down the next, block, there's another one. So it just tells me that Liberians drink more than they do anything else now.
Yeah. Alcohol consumption has become a culture.
So quite frankly, it's scary,
It is.
very scary, my man. Everywhere, every corner, ev drinking spots are more than anything in this country. Drinking spots
So
more than
for the time that you've been in the country, what would you say, just from observation, what would you say about underage drinking?
oh, it's common. It's common. That's why I say we'll have that conversation. Will be
Okay.
one of those conversations for next week. But
Wow.
I just want to throw a hint there that
Yeah.
for each time you come back, so you
Mm-hmm.
have the things that kill in Liberia, the drinking, petty businesses of drinking, spots
Mm-hmm.
everywhere in community playing loud music. Then they increase uh, 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 number of motorbikes in the traffic. It seems as though no gestation on this whole
Yeah.
bicycle thing. Yeah. Then the keke. So those are the things that really outnumbering everything else in the country.
Hmm.
Everything else. People sell more alcohol than they sell anything else in Liberia right now. Everybody who wants to start a small business want to start a drinking spot. If even they start in the cooler, they will start from the cooler, and then it turns into whatever else, and then it turns into a full blown, entertainment where kids come in, hanging around. Again, no ID, so you don't go
Yeah,
asking
you
my
did. Yeah.
how old. No,
Mhm.
so everybody just intermingle, all over the place, except an upscale entertainment place like D Calabash or some of those high end hotels that have uh, what you would consider a lounge or a bar or the top discos and what you call it nightclubs. But other than that, no. All of these open drinking centers are everywhere, 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 all over the place.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow. It's
and
crazy.
they don't care where to put it. They don't care where to put it. It's everywhere, Moses. We'll try to get this whole thing rectified during the course of the week to our next broadcast because I don't know what happened here tonight.
Yeah.
Can't get it stuck through the board. So Moses, man, thanks so much for being here with us tonight. All you, our wonderful friends out there, Pro King, some of the YG Rivers as Pro, Zizi Party, all the folks who hung out here with us tonight. I say thank you. We'll be back here on Tuesday, God's willing. And Tuesday is a national holiday in Liberia. I believe it's March 15th.
Yeah.
And that's our founding father, our first president. I'm just coining him as the founding father because he was the first president, Joseph Jenkins Roberts' birthday. So that would be another celebration here in the country. Uh, so we want to say thank you so much. Let's call it a night, my brother. From there.
Thank you. Thank you too, Vakana. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you. Thank you,
Enjoy it.
Moses.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much, folks, for being there with us. We'll be back here on Tuesday, God's willing. The Issues Room signing off at this point. Good night.